I'm very obviously late to the party, but hey, when you get two reviews in a week by me, this is a very uncharted waters for me recently. Um, so yeah, let's talk about Encanto, not Bruno. um, Listen, I know like Pixar movies, Disney movies, will have like musicals in them, and I'm fine with that. Like I'm fine with musicals recently, like but there was something to be said about the musicals that happened here. Some were good, some were overtly done, and what I mean by overtly done is like they overemphasize it, and I think when you go for quantity over just letting your audiences chill the fuck out, you're gonna have me saying, man, I was gonna barf at. If this went a second longer, I would have fucking barfed and called this the worst movie, even though a lot of people love the fuck out of this movie. I was this close to rating it as a shitty movie because of the musicals that happened, but at the same time, I could see the flip side of it, and people explaining it in a way that it does move the story along in a lot of ways, and I respect that aspect of it. But how do I say this? The Manuel Miranda isms of it kind of took me out, as especially as soon as I knew Lin Manuel Miranda wrote this. I was like, yeah, this is a very like it's a comedy musical type style where I'm not really used to that because I'm more into the grandeurs, stage performance type of musical, if that makes any sense. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you have to look at musicals in where it's trying to push its characters to go. I love the choreography that like the main character is forced into, like Mirabelle, because when you get the whole musical, she kind of has to dance with it, even though she's like trying to listen intensely. I thought that was a really fun aspect of it, and I guess it's more of that stage show presence that is being pushed onto you. But all in all, I thought that it's just it's just a double-edged sword for me because like a big musical can take me somewhere, but I get it. Like this is very much the whole Broadway experience, right? The individual characters get their own set numbers. Um, Ironically, the Bella didn't get and the parents didn't get, but that was for me in the intro song, the intro musical done by Mirabelle in the first act. So, um, overall, this was a very emotional movie for me because I felt a lot of what Mirabelle was going through, and it's very cliche to say like you empathized with the character a lot because that's a lot of people's feelings, but in this one you really felt in her shoes and what she wants to do. She knows she's an outcast, but she still wants to play a part in the family, and then to have it all tie back to Bruno, who is essentially the first black sheep of the family because of his gift, which is being able to see the future, or rather visions of a future. It's not really set in stone, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a vision. And what you do with that vision is very much essentially what is supposed to happen. And I kind of guessed the ending. I was like, no, you're not supposed to hug your sister. Yes, that's the first step, but it's the first it's the first metronome of the family, which is the abuela. So that was one thing I kind of disliked about it, but um, it was just very very small gripe, if I might say so myself, because it's just like I, for me, it's like being able to guess the ending of a movie kind of does take away from the experience of a movie, if that makes any sense. And yeah, it's just, I think in a lot of ways this is the perfect Disney Pixar movie, because it does showcase a lot of the magical, but now it's bringing in more of the family values. And nowadays everything is very woke and very, very multicultural, so you bring in that aspects as well. You bring in those aspects as well, showing other cultures, and this one is the Colombian culture. And I read someone speak about, like, oh, it's refreshing to see Colombia being represented without drugs, and I was like, isn't caffeine a drug? Because I swear, like, the first frame I was thinking of, well, if Disney is not gonna be able to talk about drugs, they'll definitely talk about Colombian coffee. And lo and behold, a fucking kid holds the coffee cup, drinks the coffee, and Mirabelle's like, well, that's why coffee is for grown-ups. I was just like, well, there you go. you know but that's, again, it's just a very small gripe from me. Like, there's two big small gripes about the movie. Is that, and it's the coffee thing, and the whole the whole individual set piece that was going on. I think the family dynamic was really well done. That was a really great thing to develop. And I think that the whole story of, Mirabelle is like, she didn't get the miracle because she is the miracle, is very inept. Because as soon as the ending, and I brought it back to the first beginning as well, that she is the miracle, because she is very connected to the miracles in the house. And when, there was strife among the sisters, and maybe she's feeling, more and more left out of the family. It started to crack the house. And because the house is a living being, it's also going to affect the household in that concept, because the house is not a home, essentially. You know what I'm saying? um and I think that a lot of the plot points in the story points is very very good, because it's like Antonio is the first person to really treat her as a person per se, because he's bringing her into his own gifting ceremony, and it's a good thing. And yeah, overall, I have to give this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10, I think, personally, for me, because this is a good movie, but not a great movie for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, a great movie is, I haven't seen a great Pixar movie in a while. So, I mean, Coco was great, but not that fantastically. I mean, I rated it at 8 or 9 out of 10, if I remember correctly. And maybe because that was the emotions I had for Coco. It's such a big grand thing with the visuals and all that, so maybe that played a part as well. And there wasn't a lot of visuals in this, but I think that the CG animation done by Disney Pixar has improved over the years. My God, I can't speak today. I'm sorry. And so, when you see this type of movie, you do fully expect the big guns. You know what I'm saying? And overall, again, it's just a fun movie. I think, what I'm saying. Like, my sister told me, she watched it and didn't think a lot about it. I had first heard about the movie from my sister. I had seen the movie come out on my pirate movie service. I think that it's important to understand why people pirate stuff nowadays, and for me, I don't really want to stiff the artists, but my own views on it is that I'm stiffing the corporation because it's Disney, and I don't really want to give more money to Disney because Disney is such a multi-billion company. I don't think that I should be paying for Disney because Disney can pay its artists for the work that they've done solely on the diversity of the corporations that Disney has. You know what I'm saying? That's how big Disney is. Alright, so that's it, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.